Forget IndyCar, forget NASCAR. This is what it looks like when a real race car goes around an oval circuit. He says while staring at a car with a halo on it, but we'll forget that. And today, we are on rFactor for the first time, I think, on the channel, racing around the famous Indianapolis circuit. The real one, not the terrible layout that F1 used for a few years. And racing in Fernando Alonso's McLaren. You can tell it's the off-season when I come up with random ideas like this. But yeah, basically today we're going to be seeing what it looks like when F1 cars drive around oval circuits. So we're going to do a couple of laps, getting used to the car. And then we're going to do a race with 20 cars around this oval circuit. There's going to be slipstream galore and probably a lot of crashes. If you guys enjoy these sort of videos, do make sure to leave a like. And without further ado, we are going to get out onto the track. So, my engineer is putting me that way. I assume that's the right way. This is, I don't know where I'm going. We've got someone to follow. This is brilliant. So, you don't get F1 pit lanes like this, do you? This is very strange. So, of course, we're going the way that F1 didn't go, because F1 went the wrong way around the oval, which I always found interesting. But, pit limiter, maybe? There we go. We got the limiter off, and I don't know where I'm going. This isn't an oval. This is... Oh, man, I'm so confused right now. Is this even how the circuit goes? Is this what they do in normal IndyCar and NASCAR? But anyway, we're actually out on the oval now, and we can put a few laps in. I would say get used to the track, but it doesn't really take long to get used to an oval track. There's 4 corners, they all go to the left, and yeah, this is going to be quite boring. I probably should have just jumped straight into a race. Oh boy, I have picked an incredibly exciting video for today. I don't know whether to stay high or low. I can't remember what the technique is. I feel like you should stay high to keep the speed, but all I've deduced from this opening 1.2 laps is that you have to turn left, and the F1 cars are incredibly boring to drive around ovals. I thought I'd drive as Fernando Alonso in this, just because I feel like it's just something that he'd do. Like, I can just imagine Alonso rocking up to an IndyCar weekend with a McLaren F1 car and being like, you know, can you just enter me into the race with this? Although he'd probably DNF knowing his luck anyway, but... we've got a car coming out of the pit lane. I definitely took the wrong route through. That is slightly embarrassing. Right then, seeing as practice was incredibly tedious, we're just going to dive straight into a race around this Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We've been overtaken about 17 times into turn 1, and we were in about P7. We're now in P10, so not the greatest of starts. And we just literally have a complete slipstream fest, as expected. And we're actually trying to overtake some people, but we have to go out the slipstream to do that. And now we've got a corner. This isn't going to end well. This isn't going to end well. Oh boy, yeah, that was a crash waiting to happen. And somehow, we are still on the circuit. We've lost the position. We've got cars bumping all over the place. And my God, alright, we've nearly binned it there. We have nearly binned it. But still, we've got a 5-lap race around here, so hopefully we can keep the car intact for the whole 5 laps. And yeah, no, it's not going to end well. No, that's gone well. Yeah, I'm probably not in too good a condition at the moment. We're still spinning. We're still spinning. Oh, I think that might take a restart. Right, this is definitely take 1. Nothing has happened before this. And we go green again. Bit of a better start than last time, although we're still swamped going into turn 1. And yet we're back down to P10, so it's actually no better to start. But we are absolutely creaming everybody as we go on to the... I was going to say we go to the dirty part of the track, but I just couldn't keep my cool for that long. And yeah, another restart, I think. 1 lap. 1 lap. If we can make it through 1 lap cleanly, I've got... about 20% confidence that we can make it through the entire race. But anyway, a little bit of a better start that time. We're still in P7, Maybe we should stop going for such audacious overtakes. That might help us a little bit. But what's the fun in that? What's the fun in just sticking in P7 for the entire race? My God, we've got so much speed as we go into what I assume is turn 3. I don't really know. But anyway, this isn't going to end well. This isn't going to end well. We've got cars still bobbling all over the place. We had a bit of oversteer there, which is never good when you're travelling at 190 miles an hour. And that Alfa Romeo has just been really good to us, and now we're facing backwards. Not really what we were anticipating or hoping. Take 4, this is the one. I can feel it. We're going to get through a lap. 3 laps maybe is about the maximum we can hope for, but, you know, 1 lap I'd take at this point. Anyway, we're through turn 1, I would say safely, but we still had contact. The same through turn 2, and this is where we really gain. This is the dangerous corner, turn 3, as we've had a Force India pull out. We're going to have to back out. We're just going to have to back out. I want to get through this first lap safely, and he says whilst colliding with a Red Bull. We're going to do it. We are going to do it, trust me. Take 5, and if anyone is sticking around now, then you've probably got no life, because if you've switched off by now, I do not blame you one bit, because this has been incredibly tedious to watch probably. But then again, you've probably all found it quite funny that I'm terrible at rFactor as well as F1 and every other racing game that's ever been in existence. But anyway, we are gaining and gaining into turn 3. They need to rename this corner just the corner of carnage. I'm sure the the Indianapolis organisers are already on that. You know, I'm sure they'll rename it after me. But anyway, we might actually get through a lap here as we come through turn 4. The cars are bouncing everywhere, but we come through turn 4 and we're actually going to complete a lap around Indianapolis in an F1 car, the oval circuit. We're pushing this Williams through. It seems as slow as its actual 2018 car. It's also probably worth noting that these cars are an equal performance, which is why everything is so close. And that was a long sentence. But anyway, I can barely breathe because we are in P10, but we're about a second off the lead. And this is just utter carnage. We're obviously just keeping our foot planted to the floor for the entirety of this, as we nearly crash and probably should have crashed if damage was on. But we're going to make it through 2 laps, I think, by the looks of it, as we've got cars wobbling everywhere. And hopefully we can actually get through a full race distance here. We're going to try and go through the middle. It's probably not going to work. But the damage model on this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. As you can see, you know, the collisions are very, very accurate in these cars. Right, you join me now as we are entering the final lap of this race. We're currently in P13, but we can literally almost touch the leader. That is how close we are. I wouldn't be surprised if we finished last. I wouldn't be surprised if we won. Actually, I would be very surprised if we won this because we are terrible. But anyway, we're down to P16 now as we come through turn 2, and this is where we're just going to gain a mad amount of positions. We are going to try and get past everybody. Everybody is in everybody's slipstream. We're just going to try and tank it up the inside. I don't care if we crash anymore, as this is just not going to end well, is it? Anyway, we're into turn 3 now. We've got less than half a lap to go. We've gained a number of positions on this final lap, and surely we've got to finish now. We've had a little bit of a crash towards the end, but that was interesting, to say the least. As we go to the line, we can't let that Alfa Romeo beat us, surely. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I thought we'd actually done alright there, but we finished P14 in the end, and we get taken out on the cool-down lap for good measure. We are facing upside down, and my wheel is slowly braking, which is, you know, always good. But that was interesting, and that didn't take as long as I thought it would. So, I'll tell you what, we're going to add something else onto the end of this video. So I think it's fair to say that once you've done one oval track, you've pretty much done them all. So, what are we going to do? We're going to go to another oval track, but we're not going to be racing the full circuit. We're going to be doing the Daytona road course, which is the track that they used a couple of weeks ago for the 24 Hours of Daytona. It's a little bit of a similar layout to the infield section that they used for the F1 Indianapolis, but it's a little bit better. So we're going to see how an F1 car goes around this Daytona road course. My God, this is tight in the pit lane. We just about avoid crashing into that Red Bull. But we're still in Fernando Alonso's McLaren, and we're going to take a lap on board around this Daytona circuit and see exactly what it is like. And then we'll do a 3-lap race afterwards. So I sort of know this track, he says whilst crashing into the pit lane. But yeah, we'll take a lap on board, see what this McLaren's saying, and whether F1 cars are actually any good around here. So it's got a couple of hairpins around this circuit, and there is a chicane as well. So it's basically a Herman Tilke F1 track. Get it on the 2020 calendar. And I've driven this circuit in a few different cars, but never in an F1 car. So this is going to be interesting to see what it is like, as we brake way too early for pretty much every corner. But now we go onto the oval section of the track. So Daytona is quite a lot more banked than Indianapolis is. I'm no oval expert, but I'm pretty sure more banking means that you can go faster. So we come round the first bit of this oval, and then halfway through you just get a chicane, which I've completely misjudged, but you get the picture. So we'll do one flying lap on board before we get into the race, and then after that chicane you go back onto the oval. Imagine a DRS zone around here in an F1 car. That would be pretty mental. But we come around the final corner now to start. No, it isn't the final corner. Is it the final corner, or is it the start-finish line on a corner? Yes, it technically is. So anyway, we come round the final / first corner and then brake quite heavily into the first turn. Got to be careful not to spin it. And then we go through this quite quick section before getting to the second heavy braking zone. We got another hairpin, then try and run it out wide. We're very slow through there, but this is my first lap in an F1 car, so cut me a bit of slack please in the comments. But yeah, go through quite a quick section there and then brake once again into yet another hairpin. You forget how quickly these F1 cars actually stop, because all the other cars I've driven around here, they literally take an age to stop. But once again, completely misjudged that corner. And now we get on to the oval part of the track. So the title isn't misleading. This is driving F1 cars on oval tracks. And now we get onto the banking and we wait until we can brake on the chicane. Honestly, ovals, just keeping your foot planted, there is no fun in that whatsoever. But anyway, go through the chicane now. Lovely bit of grass cut in there. And don't know whether this has been a good lap, a bad lap, or a terrible lap. Probably the latter. But as we come now through the final corner, pretty much the final corner, what do I talk about? It's just so boring. I'm yeah, just sit back. Just look at my watch for a bit. And we finished the lap. Brilliant. Okay, right, we were 1.1 seconds off the current fastest time. So, right, I'm bored now. Let's get into the race. And just like that, we are plonked on the start line, ready for 3 laps around Daytona. Doing a standing start this time to make it a bit more F1-like, and away we go. For the wheel spin Grand Prix, by the looks of it, all the AI wheel spinning to their heart's content. And as we go towards turn 1, there's not a lot of room here, so we're going to have to evade everybody and just go tanking around the outside. I'm sure that's completely legal. And, oh my God, okay, there was actually a crash behind, so probably best we went round the outside. We're up into P12, so it's been a good start, and it looks like there may be some positions to be had here, as once again the AI just love a bit of track extending. You love to see it, as we now go towards the second right hand hairpin on this circuit, and we're still in 12th, but we're very, very close to the top 10 now. It's going to be hopefully relatively easy to get some slipstream and overtake on the oval part of the circuit, which we are now entering, and I've blown any chance by getting a ridiculous amount of wheel spin, and we're being undertaken by Lewis Hamilton there. But he should give us a nice little bit of slipstream here as we go towards the chicane. So we're down to 13th, but it's no problem. We've still got plenty of time left in this Grand Prix, I guess you could call it, and there's absolute carnage up ahead. Everybody's taking grass with him. It's good to see. And a Force India there going to the inside. We're just so slow in a straight line. Look, everybody's just closing in on us. I thought this was equal performance. I mean, I know we're in a McLaren, but we are ridiculously slow in a straight line. I should probably have done a setup or something, considering I'm on rFactor. But anyway, we come to end the first lap now. We've been overtaken by a Red Bull, but hopefully we're going to sweep round the outside into turn 1. And we actually have. We've actually gone round the outside of Max Verstappen, and we are closing in on the pack ahead. So I definitely know where our strong point of the circuit is, and it's definitely not on the oval. So I may have branded this video as how good are F1 cars to drive at around an oval circuit or something like that. The answer is not very, because I'm not very good at it, but I'm sure if I tuned my car it might actually be half decent. Anyway, we've closed right up to Sainz, and yeah, that's gone well. But anyway, I think it's clear that the AI have very much tuned their cars to the oval part of the track. I haven't. As we once again fall back. Gasly's closing in on us, and he's just overtaken us so easily. Like a knife through hot butter, as Gasly now goes to the inside. Can we try and overtake on him here? Into the chicane. Beautiful move. A little bit of grass, but, you know, a little bit of grass never hurt anyone. As we come to end the second lap. Gasly's just going to overtake us again, isn't he? We are so slow in a straight line. I know I keep forgetting to change gear, but I don't think that's really having that much of an impact. As now we just about come to end the second lap. Now, 1 lap left in this Grand Prix. Are we going to be able to go around the outside of Gasly? I'd like to think so, seeing as we're so good in this non-oval section of the track. Indeed we do, but we're probably going to lose that position again before the end of this race. We can close up to the cars ahead so easily if we don't try and spin it every corner. But it's just that oval section of track. I've just not tuned my car, so that's probably why. But anyway, we come through the final hairpin of this race. I wish we had a few more because I might actually have a chance of winning. But anyway, we brake very, very late there. Maybe we'll have a chance. No, because I once again was too eager on the power. And now we just wait. We just wait for Gasly to close in on us and overtake us. Can't wait for that. As it's just too easy. It's just too easy for him. Anyway, we're going to re-slipstream him and see whether that helps. And then go down his inside into the chicane. He's going to re-overtake us before the start-finish line, so it's not going to matter anyway. But P13. Wow, this is brilliant. We haven't got a top 10 finish in 2 races. As Gasly once again goes past us. Oh dear, he's not even on the banked part and he's still faster than us. That is depressing. We forgot to use 8th gear, but it probably won't matter because we come across the finish line now to crash. That's nice of Brendan Hartley to do that. And, well, I guess, as we get hit again, that is the end of the video. So, in conclusion, well, we've been terrible on oval tracks. That's about all I can conclude from this. If for some reason you did enjoy this video, do make sure to leave a like down below, even if it's just for these donuts. And if you want to see more rFactor experiment videos, let me know down below. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. Do take care. Bye bye.